Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You know how we do things around here?
Yeah, dive right in.
Exactly. Today we're going to be diving headfirst into the world of crypto and finance.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it should be really interesting. We're going to be looking at how this recent change in U.S. Treasury leadership could directly impact your crypto investments.
Yeah, and the source material for today's deep dive is this really interesting article all about the new U.S. Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent.
Scott Bessent. Now, you may not recognize the name off the top of your head, but this guy is a big deal.
Oh, yeah, he's a huge player.
Yeah, so we're talking like billionaire hedge fund manager, CIO for George Soros, founded Key Square Capital Management. Oh, and a massive crypto advocate.
Okay, so definitely someone worth paying attention to.
Big time. Okay, so.
Yeah, and it's important to kind of understand the weight of this appointment, thinking about who he replaced Janet Yellen.
Right.
She had a very different stance on cryptocurrency, much more cautious,
He's more reserved for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have Bessent coming in, who's actually on record, saying things like, crypto is about freedom and the crypto economy is here to stay.
I saw that quote, yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of gives you a sense of where he's coming from and what this could mean for U.S. financial policy in the years to come.
Right, so huge potential shift.
Yeah.
So, okay, what does all of this mean for, the average person?
Right.
So in practical terms, what could this mean for our listeners?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Bessent's pro-crypto stance, it could mean a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
We could see faster adoption of crypto-friendly regulations.
Right.
Maybe even a U.S.-based digital dollar.
Oh, wow.
Which would be similar to what other countries are already doing.
Yeah, a lot of countries are exploring that.
Yes, exactly. So that would put the U.S., right in the mix with them.
So it's not just, abstract policy changes.
No, it's very real.
It could directly impact, like, how we use money.
Right. And how we invest.
Yeah.
And how we think about finance in general.
Exactly. And, this guy, Bessent, he's overseeing a $28 trillion debt market.
It's funny because...
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, that number, it's almost hard to even comprehend, right?
Yeah.
But $28 trillion, it's just an astronomical sum.
Yeah, so he's in charge of that. Plus... fiscal policy regulations,
right.
Sanctions overseas investments. I mean, we're talking...
everything.
It's a lot.
It's essentially the entire U.S. economy.
Right.
It's like he's at the helm.
Exactly. It's like he's the captain of this massive ship.
Right.
That is the U.S. economy, and he's charting this new course that goes right through the world of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
And, the crypto community, they're super excited about this.
Oh, absolutely. They're buzzing.
Yeah, like Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. He even called Bessent an incredible leader.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of optimism right now.
Yeah, for sure.
But, we do have to remember that former President Trump actually issued an executive order that banned a U.S. CBDC.
What's that?
A central bank digital currency. And, Trump saw that as a threat to the financial system.
Interesting.
So there could be some friction, between Bessent's vision and the existing policies.
So it's not smooth sailing ahead necessarily.
You're right. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So, this is a guy who is a major crypto investor himself.
Yeah, that's another layer to this whole thing.
Yeah, he even has like a Bitcoin ETF.
Mm-hmm.
He's said that he'll sell some of his holdings to ensure impartiality.
Yeah, but, how much is enough?
Right? Is that truly enough to avoid any conflict of interest?
It's a really tough question.
Yeah.
And I think it just brings up a lot of really complex issues about how we navigate personal wealth and government policy.
For sure.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so where does this all leave us? I mean, what's the takeaway for our listeners?
Well, I think the big picture is that with a pro-crypto leader like Bessent steering the ship, we could see blockchain technology becoming much more integrated into the traditional financial system.
Okay, so that would be a huge shift.
Absolutely.
And what are the potential benefits of that?
Well, think about things like increased efficiency and transparency.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those are some of the big promises of blockchain, right?
Yeah.
So the potential is definitely there, but of course there are also potential downsides.
Okay, what are you talking about?
Well, one of the core principles of crypto is decentralization, right? And that's fundamentally at odds with government control.
So there's that tension there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how Bessent tries to reconcile these conflicting ideas.
Yeah.
Will we see a truly decentralized financial future, Or will it be more of a regulated, government-influenced version of crypto?
That's the big question.
Yeah, it is. And it's something that everyone should be thinking about, especially as we watch how all of this unfolds.
Right. So we have a new U.S. Treasury Secretary who's very pro-crypto. He's got a lot of power, and we're going to have to wait and see what he does with it.
Exactly. And I think
Yeah.
it raises a really crucial question. Can a government that was built on traditional finance truly embrace the decentralized world of crypto?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it's a fascinating dilemma, and I don't think there's an easy answer.
I think that's a good place to leave it.
Yeah, I think so.
So we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
Really interesting stuff. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of government and cryptocurrency.
My pleasure.
And for all of you listening out there, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you next time.